Good? Okay. Okay, so welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Ronan Gaffney, and thank you for having me here. I want to tell you a bit about FreshBiz and how we came to know Bruce and to be in touch with Pace University and be part of the program. So FreshBiz is basically about bringing the future of entrepreneurship education. And we do it through two major products. One of them is a game that I developed, and the second one is a book that we wrote. And the idea behind FreshBiz is to basically bring people the ability to be able to go through the educational process and through the learning of becoming an entrepreneur or having an entrepreneurial mindset. Because the issue about entrepreneurship, that on one hand it's very important skill, and I believe that anyone should have it, because once you know how to think like an entrepreneur, you can implement it almost into anything that you do in your life, not just business, but anything else, because it's basically the ability to turn ideas into reality. So anyone should have it. But on the other hand, we never been taught on how to do that. No one teaches us about it in school, and later on, colleges and university, we almost don't get there unless we have a special entrepreneurship lab or something like that. And again, also most of the organizations or enterprises, they never teach us on how to think like entrepreneurs. And one of the major reasons that they don't do it is because the only way to learn entrepreneurship is through experience. You can't just read about it. It's like, it's like learning how to swim through books. You can't actually learn how to do entrepreneurship unless you go through an experience. So one way to do it is to go through the experience of becoming an entrepreneur, starting a business, or being very active in turning ideas into reality. And the second best option is to play a game, because the idea is to basically rewire your brain to a different mindset. And you can do that by keep acting in a different way for long enough until your brain is rewired into a new way of thinking. Just like you learned how to drive and just like how you learned how to swim, you can develop the skill of becoming an entrepreneur. So this is basically what we are doing. Now, we think that that this ability of becoming an entrepreneur has even bigger applications, because as long as we stay uneducated about it, then we basically let the old school systems keep controlling our lives. And those old systems are all around us. We find them in the educational system, we find them in the economical systems, we find them in health systems, and it's basically all around us. And basically, part of becoming an entrepreneur is the ability to see something, say, well, this is an old way of doing things, I want to change it, and now I know how to do it. So for us, it's like, if you've seen The Matrix, it's like taking the red pill and actually starting to change old systems that are no longer relevant in the world that we are living nowadays, so we can actually create something different in the world. And I'll talk about it in a second. And the major problem that we see nowadays, although it's in Hebrew, most of you can read it, but I'll just translate it for you. It says that 85 people in the world are holding the same amount of fortune like the other half of the planet. So 85 people has the equal funds or wealth like 3.5 billion people. We saw this as a problem, and you need to solve this problem. And the way to solve this problem is, first of all, by changing the way people think and changing the mindset and giving them the tools to make something different and change it. Otherwise, the old systems will keep running the show, and so far, doesn't work so well for us. So I started researching why is it that we are holding those old beliefs that keeps us stuck in a world and a mindset that doesn't serve us anymore. And what I found out is that basically most of the games that we live in life, because everything that we do in life is part of a game. Okay? The educational system is a game. The economical system is a game. A relationship is a game. It's all structured. It has games mechanism into it. And if we look at them, we can see that most of those systems, most of the games that we were taught to play in life are fear-based games. And those fear-based games are, we can find them in those systems, and we can find them in the games that we play as kids as well. Okay, who played Monopoly? Ever played Monopoly? Well, Monopoly is a fear-based game. Why? It's a last man standing game. And most of the games that we play in life are structured in a way that is kind of a last man standing game. If you want to win, someone else has to die, or at least lose. So you got to be the first in your class. You got to be, I don't know, the first in, you got to be the richest. You got to be the, and we think that everything is a competition, and we think that everything is about breaking someone else's leg so I can win, because that's the way the game is structured. Okay, if you go to school and you get 70 on your exam instead of 100, so you're not happy about having 7 more points of expertise, you are bummed about where those 30 other win because someone else might beat you to the 100. So when we get used to play those kinds of games, that's the mindset that we develop, and that's the way we play life. And when we play life like this, then we keep that really helps the old system keep us in surviving mode or struggling mode, and that's very easy to keep people in a state that they don't want to create change because they are too concerned with just taking care of life. We wanted to change it. So in order to change it, you got to give people the ability to play different games. So the best way to do it is come up with a different game. And I came up with the game that is called FreshBiz. And the idea of the game is to basically to solve what we call the abundance paradox. Because on one hand, we are living in a world that nowadays we have way more opportunities, way more resources, way more knowledge accessible for us than in any other era in time. But the more resources we have, the less people can actually use it. And we find more people that are in a mode of struggling, and we see more people that are in a mode of compromising, or they're not actually living the life they want to live. Now, this is the paradox, because if we have so many resources, so many opportunities, so many options, how come we cannot find a way to live the way we want to live? And that's because there is a new game out there, but most people are living and playing it using, old mindset and outdated skills. So you got to change the game people play so they can actually play the new game. And those who can actually play the new game are the new entrepreneurs that we see around us. Usually people that are breaking the systems and playing outside of the regular systems and basically taking advantage of all those opportunities. So I had an idea. I started developing it. It was a process of 6 years. It took me about 6 years to develop the game, to get it to the point that it actually, on one hand, fun to play, so people will see it as a game, and on the other hand, will be educational, and people can actually get a reflection on how they play life and get insights and do something about it. Once I decided to turn it into a business, I decided to go all in. I sold my house, so I will have the initial funds to fund the business and put the money into the business and started building the business. That was about 4 years ago. We took the money, we created the game, and we started running some workshops around the game, because the game comes also with a curriculum of workshops that allows people to take the insights from the game and apply it into life. Well, when the basic idea is, as I said before, is rewiring the brain, because we need to set a new set of beliefs, and then we need to do to act in a different way so we can actually change the way we behave in life. I think that the best example to show the power of the brain and why we need games is, remember when we were at school and there was a chalkboard, and remember what happened when the teacher accidentally, instead of writing with the chalk, used a nail on the board? Yeah? Can you feel it now? Okay. Now, there is no teacher, no chalk, and no nail, but your body actually created a physical reaction to a memory that only exists in your brain. That's the power of a game, because your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and a thought. So if you do something in a game and you start behaving in a different way, for him it's reality. So if you're becoming a better negotiator in a game, then you have a new skill of being a better negotiator in life. If you are a good collaborator in a game, you become a good collaborator in life. If you spot opportunities in a game, you become an opportunity spotter in life. And that's the power of a game. So we took the game, we took the workshop, and we went worldwide. We've been to over 20 countries, playing with over 25,000 people in the last 4 years, from New York, Madrid, Moscow, Copenhagen, Mumbai, Mexico, really everywhere. And we played it with a very wide range of players, from schools to MBA students, entrepreneurs, business executives, from the age of 12 to the age of 70, all kinds of different social backgrounds. And it worked. It worked. It actually changes the way people play life, and it changes the way people play business, and it actually has a very tremendous effect on behavior. And about a year and a half ago, we've been approached by Wiley Publication to write a book. We chose to write a book about the new entrepreneurs, actually how people in the business world take those insights and take the new mindset and turn it into smart businesses. And we did it. And I want to just jump forward to the story about Bruce, because I have about, 2 minutes or so? Okay. First time I met Bruce was about 3 years ago, I think. We came to New York. First time that we came to New York with Freshbees, we wanted to run a workshop. We had a shared workspace that we rented for the night, and we wanted to have 30 people in the room. The morning of the event, we had about 15 people. So we knew that what we need is a quantum leap to happen by the end of the day. And then I had a meeting with Bruce at Pace University. I showed him the game. I think he was pretty excited. And then I told him, look, we have a workshop at night. Would you like to join us for the workshop? And then Bruce said, I cannot join you for the workshop because I have a class at the evening. And then he paused for a few minutes. Then he said, you know what? I'll bring my class. It's an entrepreneurship class. It's an entrepreneurship game. I'll get the class to your workshop. And 8 p.m., the workshop started. Bruce and 15 of his students came into the workshop. We had a full house, and we created our own quantum leap at that moment. But that actually led to a long-lasting relationship with Bruce and Pace University, because the moment Bruce said, look, I have an idea, we got the understanding that we are dealing not with a regular professor, but with someone who has an entrepreneurial mindset. So we wanted to know more about your story. And when we got the opportunity to write the book, then we interviewed Bruce for it. He told you a bit about his background, but what he didn't tell you is that after he went to, he worked in Wall Street, then he left Wall Street, he used the money to buy a yacht, and he went sailing for 7 years just because he wanted to make sure that life doesn't go by just by working. And that's an amazing story. If you read the book, you see a poem by Bruce. It's an amazing poem. So he's a poem, he's a traveler, he's an explorer. He's really a true entrepreneur. And the year after, we arranged a big workshop for us in New York with 100 Pace University students and professors. And we kept in touch, and we've been there lately for the book signing, and we became part of the program because along the way, many people told us, okay, it's it's working, it's effective, cool. Can you give us the academic background, what stands behind it, and actually prove that this works? So this is basically what we are doing with the program. We are basically doing an academic research, giving the game to several groups in corporates, students, schools, so they can test it and the long-lasting effect of keep playing the game and how it changed business results and life results. So we will actually have the academic research behind it to prove that this is actually working. So that's the collaboration about this program, and that's a great opportunity for us because it's really amazing. I think that it's also an opportunity for the Entrepreneurship Lab to use the game and actually implement it as part of what they do. So that's in general about FreshBiz. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for being here. And